Hi, this is Shelley from Red River, and I am doing my first interview for the Len Amsterdam show, and I want to give a big welcome to Lexie Green. Hey Lexie, how you doing?
Hello Shelley, I'm very well, thank you.
Hey Lexie, I've been listening to your music a lot, and I notice you do a lot of different genres. Can you tell me who your musical influences are?
I listen to absolutely everything and anything, and it all gets stuck in my head and gets jumbled around, and when I come up with an idea, obviously a little bit of it comes out here and there. Also, I haven't been writing long enough for me to be stuck into a particular style or sound, and it's nice not to be confined to that either. I mean, if I come up with anything, I can just put it down and I don't feel that, oh, I have to stick to that sound because I know last time it worked. It doesn't matter to me. I just enjoy writing for writing and no other reason.
Well, speaking of different styles, I really like your country song called One Night. Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
I wrote One Night in under an hour, and I'd sat down at the piano one evening. It was one of the rare opportunities I get when the house was quiet, and I was playing this simple repetitive tune again and again and again, and then I had this really strong storyline in my head, and I just fitted the lyrics to it so easily, and that was it. It was finished. I don't think too deeply about the songs I write, especially the lyrics. I tend to have a story or an idea, and that's it. It's not necessarily personal. But I suppose you could either think of it as a sweet cowboy love story, or you could think, oh, it's a sort of a dig at how naive women can be when it comes to men. But either way, it's just a sweet little song. I quite like it.
Well, you know I'm going to have to ask you this. Are you really a bored housewife?
Oh, if I was a bored housewife, I'm certainly not one anymore. I love my life. I love doing what I do, and I feel very, very lucky. I went back to work full time when I first had children, when they were first born, and it was awful. It really was, which is such a shock to me because I never thought I would have children. I never really wanted children when I was younger. Just wanted a career and maybe get married, but that was it as far as it went. And I remember the first time I told my mum that I was pregnant, she sat down with shock, and I think she's still sitting there now in total shock. That's 6 years later. I feel really, really fortunate that I'm at home now and I can watch my children grow. I can be at home for them, and I take my hat off to any mum who works full-time or part-time, who comes home and does then what I have to do at home. I tried it for 2 years, and I woke up one morning and lost most of my hair, so that was enough for me. I couldn't. I'd reached my limit, and everybody's got their limits, and obviously that was mine. So I really do appreciate what I have and what I do, and I really don't take a single day for granted.
I know the listeners can really relate to that. I know that I can, if I can remember back that far. Hey, you know, I've been fascinated by the UK for a long time, and we've talked about traveling there. Haven't had a chance to do that yet. But I was wondering if you could give us any hints or tips about things that maybe we should try to do once we do get there. And also, can you kind of paint a picture for us about the place where you live and what it's like?
Well, I live on a small farm outside the city of Peterborough in Cambridgeshire, and the best thing about it is so peaceful, it's so quiet. I'm just completely surrounded by fields. Everywhere I look there's just fields. It gets very muddy in the winter, but that's not a problem because in the summer it is just absolutely fantastic. I used to live in London when I was younger. I used to work there, and I do miss the buzz. I do, and sometimes when I'm at home and there's just I haven't seen anybody for sort of 5 hours, no cars, nothing, I do miss that sort of interaction with people. But it's nice to have the option that I can go into London if I ever wanted to, but I can come home completely away from it. My town does a really odd thing one weekend once a year, and they shut the town completely, and this man literally comes dressed out head to toe in straw, and they call him the Straw Bear, and it's quite big. It's getting bigger each year, and it's an old pagan ritual, I think, that they used to do, and it's to do with fertility. Well, they always are, aren't they? And they go from pub to pub, and there's an awful lot of pubs in my town, so that's probably why it takes a whole weekend, and it's followed by Morris dancers and singers and people dressed up in the oddest costumes, and it really is good fun. I went for the first time this year, and once my children are a lot older we'll be able to do the pubs as well, but unfortunately we had to just stand on the street and watch this year. But and that is probably the most bizarrest thing you'll ever see. I would tell you to come and look at it if you ever came to the UK, but I think you might turn up and maybe leave rather quickly and probably never come back again. So maybe you just look on the web and look at pictures first and prepare yourself.
I always like to ask other songwriters how they go about writing a song. Do the words come first for you, or the melody? How exactly do you go about writing?
No, I don't have a set way. Sometimes I'll have a lyric or a tune in my head. Another time I'll be passing the keyboard or piano and maybe play a few keys, and I'll find an idea in that. I also have to use samples, which I really don't like doing. I really feel like I'm cheating, but I'm so restricted with the instruments I do have. It's just purely me, my keyboard and the PC, so I have to use what's available to me to try and get some of the ideas I have across. Hopefully the more I do, I might get a few more sort of contacts that can either play the drums, can play bass guitar, you know, so I can maybe ask them if they could help me with some of my music. That would be fantastic, but until that happens, I am very restricted.
So, how long have you been writing? Do you know about how many songs you've written? Do you keep track?
I first started writing and recording end of November 2007, and that was Rockstar. That was my first one. Since then I've got about 20 that are half started, 10 that are almost complete. There's something I don't quite like about them, maybe the vocals, or that it needs something else adding that I'm not quite sure where I'm going with. I always have 5 that I like to work on at any one time. I find sometimes I get stale when I just work on one, so if I can drop it and then go to another one, I come back to it sometimes a lot more refreshed with new ideas. I have 11 that are currently on SoundClick that are completed. I'm not going to say finished because I don't think they ever are, but they're certainly completed enough for me to download them.
Hey, thanks, Lexie. Now I feel like a total slacker. Hey, I was reading that you're taking guitar lessons, and as somebody who's been trying to play the same 3 chords for about 30 years, I was wondering how those lessons are going for you.
Oh, I'm so excited about these lessons. I've had 4 lessons now, and I think I've mastered 3 chords, C, D and G major. I have learnt other things as well, but obviously, you know, I'm comfortable with these 3 chords now. You're so impressed, aren't you? My guitar tutor is absolutely fantastic. He writes and records himself, so he's adapted his teaching to include songwriting, and I'm learning so much. I would pay him double, but just don't tell him that. Now, he's given me this book to work through, and according to this book there's such a thing as a 3-chord song, so I'm quite keen on testing this theory very soon, but I did record myself the other day. I don't think I'm quite ready after 8 weeks of learning the guitar, but very soon, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I didn't think there was anything except a 3-chord song. Well, I guess I have a lot to learn. Hey, you know, we record in a special room in our house. It's actually a 2nd bedroom. Do you really record in your kitchen?
Yes, I do record in my kitchen. We moved the PC into there last year. It made sense because I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. It is really the heart of our home, and the PC is on 24/7. We've got our music on there, sometimes we watch movies on there, obviously my recording software's on there as well. And the children have run of like a sunroom off the kitchen, so it's nice because I can carry on writing and recording, and I can still keep an eye on the children, and I'm not locked up in a little tiny room somewhere away from everybody. It does look a little bit odd to people who come round and don't know what I do, but the children are quite used to it now. As soon as I get the microphone out, they go running off and grab their little guitars, and I'm trying to record vocals, and all you can hear is this twanging in the background. It's lovely. It is get a bit hectic as well, though, when I've got my keyboard hooked up, the children playing, my husband's home with paperwork all over the table, and I'm trying to cook dinner. But it's lovely, and I'm glad we put it in there because it works really well.
Hey, Lexie, can you tell us who you listen to when you're just playing music for your own enjoyment?
Well, it does vary, but at the moment I have a firm favourite, and it's Meatloaf. I cannot get enough of Meatloaf. He's fantastic. I have it on full blast everywhere, and it's in the car, everywhere. Oh, I'm starting to cringe now because I've just realised why people stare at me when I pull up in front of the school in the mornings when I drop the children off. Oh, it must sound so bad, but for pure enjoyment, it's got to be him every time.
Hey, I get those looks too, but you know, you get to be my age and you just don't really even care anymore. So what do you do for fun when you're not writing music?
I used to go skiing a lot. I used to go twice a year, and I used to teach as well, and I really missed that. Any extreme sports, I used to really love those. I remember jumping off a water tower once, and that was great fun at the time. And race car driving, anything with an element of danger, I would really find enjoyable. I've just started belly dancing, and if you haven't had a go at this, Shelley, you've got to have a go because it is so much fun and so difficult. There's these really voluptuous women there, and they look fantastic when they're belly dancing. And there's me, 5'2" and very petite. I find it so difficult, but it's really good fun. In fact, I think Len should have a go at this, and I think you should get it videoed, and we should pop it up on the web, because that would go down a storm.
You bet that's what I'm going to do next. We've got to talk Len into doing it too, though, and then he can post those videos up on the web. It's been a blast. It's been really fun talking to you. I love your accent, by the way, and I really appreciate you agreeing to be my first interview subject for the Len Amsterdam show. Thank you, Lexie.
Thank you, Shelley. This has been my first interview as well, and you've been very gentle, so thank you very much for that. And to the Len Amsterdam show, I just want to say thank you for playing my songs, for giving me the support you have, and also for the advice you've given me. A huge thank you to you.
One thing that I've learned from my life, it's never too late. No, it's never too late. Put on your face and your best dress too. They say there's another new craze that's good for you, and it's called love. Love, 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 oh yeah. Make it all worthwhile if you do just one thing in your life. If you love just once, you gotta love with all your might. Well, it must be true, 'cause I read it in the news. Another new craze, they say, is good for you, and it's called love. Love, 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 oh yeah. Oh, look out, baby, when it's coming through, it's gonna hit you between the eyes. Oh, you know, honey, that I love you. Oh, hell, I think that it's what got me to this love. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's some love, 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 love. Oh, yeah. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So let's just let loose and let it go. Put on your face and your best dress too. This is one craze that we can do. Well, it must be true, 'cause it's all in the news. Another new craze, they say, is good for you, and it's called love. Oh yeah. It's called love, 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 love. Oh yeah.
Hello, this is Lexie Green from the UK, and you're listening to The Len Amsterdam Show.